Yeah, the last time a 2 seed won the national title was, do you know, off the top of your head?
A 2 seed?
2 seed.
I don't, off the top of my head.
2016, UConn. 2016, Nova. The last time, the one before that was 2004, UConn, and the one before that was Kentucky. So since 1998, only two seeds have won the national title.
Oh man, that's you're going to talk about that for the rest of your life. You'll be talking about seeds forever. That is fascinating.
Isn't it weird though? You think
that really?
No, I think this is going to be a fun weekend. I do expect
Umbrella to root for or anything like that for the next segment, because joining us now, UK football head coach Will Stein. Welcome to Kentucky Roll Call, Coach Stein. How you doing?
TJ, it's good to hear your voice, brother. Steve, I didn't realize you were on this too. It's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we bumped Nick Roush out so he could cover you full time.
Is there like do y'all have like a Trinity St. X battle like at one point during the year? Like how does that work?
Well, yeah, we're going to talk to you about that actually. I want you to recap that 2007 final drive for us, just to rub it in TJ's face on his final day.
West Whiteloff. It was a false start. It was a false
all
start
day,
on
every
West.
day. So yeah,
It was a false
No
start
worries.
on West Whiteloff. Will, I just first want to say you don't need to hear it from me, but proud of you. You're an awesome dude. You deserve all of this. You worked super hard throughout. While everybody else was doing all sorts of shenanigans, you were always working and grinding, and I can't say that I'm surprised that this day came, but maybe surprised it came as early as it did, and very happy that it did.
I'm on the phone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Somebody's knocking on my door. I'm trying to do my show with you guys.
Don't they know that you're on Kentucky Roll Call? But
No.
very proud of you, and this is incredibly cool to Louisvillians that are UK fans, knowing that the program's in such great hands.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I still like my days at Saints and Molly Malone's and all that stuff. We had a blast back in the day, but I mean, I've been a product of honestly great coaches, great people in my life that have helped mentor me to get to this point. And you never know when it's going to happen. You just try to do a great job at the place you're at, and every stop along the way, I enjoyed and had so much fun, and was around some unbelievable coaches and great players, and thankfully have been able to win a lot of games in my career. So it is definitely surreal to be in this chair, and an unbelievable opportunity ahead for us, and just looking forward to, just today and the walkthrough that we had, and then with our first scrimmage tomorrow, so it's going to be exciting.
So, we talked about that 2007 game. I want to talk to you about this because not just because TJ's here, but because I tell people all the time, Will Stein's a winner. Like, you're on that final drive, your senior year. Can you just kind of walk us through that?
Well, I mean, the Dutton twins remind me all the time that they saved my ass when I threw a ball over the middle, and they made a good play, and that was actually a poorly thrown football. But no, it was a drive to remember for sure. Being down, having to go score a touchdown to tie it up, and then go into overtime against a really, really, really good St. X team that I think was undefeated at the time, and threw a little tight end delay to Jeff Negley, and to tie it up, and it was really cool. And I actually have Coach Coverdale on my staff now here at Kentucky, so it's a full circle moment for me to have my offensive coordinator now be my pass game coordinator here at Kentucky.
St. X would always get you in the regular season, and a lot of people say, Stein, that's really the one that matters the most.
I mean, they never adapted. Y'all still ran the same option football. We obviously drew the offense throughout the whole year, and then when the time mattered, the Rocks went down and made some stuff happen.
Coach Glazer, he got the shillelagh with the umbrella, and that didn't backfire at all. You are a winner. We hope that winning continues at UK. We can have fun and talk shenanigans. We're not going to keep you too long, but I did see your retweet today. UK Athletics extends a partnership with Fanatics to include a nil program. That seems like a big deal for UK across all sports, but especially for your football program.
Yeah, I mean, I think any time that we're adapting to the times and pushing the envelope forward is good for not just University of Kentucky, but for college athletics as a whole. So I'm excited about anything that can help our players out and get them the notoriety that they've earned and deserved, and opportunity to get money in their pockets that they've earned and deserved, and then I'm a fan for it. So if we're on the cutting edge here at Kentucky compared to other schools, I think that's definitely a bonus for us.
Will, do you feel that you have the resources to compete for a national championship in college football playoffs at the University of Kentucky?
I wouldn't have taken this job, TJ, if I didn't feel like that could be done. I was obviously in an elite spot at Oregon, calling plays for some really good players and working with Dan. So I had this job circled for a long time, just in my mind as a place, not just because it's home. Like, it's easy to say just because it's home and it's Kentucky that's why I'm coming back. I'm here to win, and that's what I've wanted to do. And so I wouldn't have taken a job without those opportunities. Are we where we need to be? I would say not yet, but I think everybody is pushing the envelope throughout college football. So I think everybody is always wanting to get more and more and more. I think what we compiled this season with the roster at hand, I think we're going to be able to go out there and do things that I want to do offensively, defensively, and on special teams. We just got to continue to push and keep adapting. That way we can have the depth necessary to go. And keep adapting. That way we can have the depth necessary to go do what we want to do. But to answer your question, yes, I do believe that I've been given plenty of resources, but everybody here, University of Kentucky is adapting and pushing the envelope forward so we can continue to improve and continue to excel in all sports.
We love hearing that. We're talking with UK football coach Will Stein here on Kentucky Roll Call, and you had the resources to be able to get Kenny Minchey even after I believe he had maybe committed elsewhere. What do you like about his game? Why was he the quarterback you targeted in the portal? Maybe you could have targeted another guy or two, but this is the one ultimately you settled on.
I love his mental makeup. I love where he came from Notre Dame, being coached by Mike Denbrock and Gino Guidugli, two guys that I really respect offensively in college football. So I know he's been trained really well. I love his accuracy. I love his ability to throw on time and in rhythm and the small spaces. He's more mobile than I think I even gave him credit for. He's got some really good wheels on him, and I'm just a smart, dependable person. I think he embodies what we want as a program. He is, you can put him in any room and he's going to fit in, and that doesn't make him, he's just a glue guy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I love his mental makeup. I love his ability to throw the football. He's shown some really good deep balls this spring so far, but, we have to be able to complete gimme throws. And, the last, I think, 4 guys I've had have been over 70% completion percentage. And that's what I'm looking for Kenny this year, is being the point guard there for us on offense and distribute the football to the playmakers.
You said you liked his mental makeup, so I think that's going to answer my next question. But there's just such little tape on him in real game experience, and this being under center or on the sidelines, when it's the fourth quarter and the pressure starts to build and the stadium's getting insane, some people just don't have the chops, or they're not cut out for that moment. I hope that Kenny Minchey is. I don't think you'd bring him in if he wasn't, but how do you know that when you haven't really gotten to see that from him?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. We have a lot of metrics that we have even before we bring a guy in on his mental makeup that's available, through recruiting services now and through Elite 11 and some different opportunities for us to go out and dive in. Obviously doing background checks through his coaches at Notre Dame and his high school coaches. When I straight up asked Gino, I said, how good is he? And he said, if we would have played him last year, we would have won 10 games still. So I trust a guy like Gino, who's, he went to Highlands and played high-level football, has been coaching for a long time. And, when I get that type of, information back to me, and then when I talk to other NFL scouts that go to the Notre Dame practices and they say that Kenny Minchey is a dude, he can really rip it. And then when you get him on the phone and you talk to him, I think you just give yourself the best possible insight that you can. You're right, TJ. You never really know with anybody until you're out there in the line of battle. But that's also why we practice the way that we do, which is, put a lot of stress on them. Not just quarterback, but our entire team. We do a 2-minute drive basically every single day. We pump up crowd noise. We have game on the line periods where I just straight up say, hey, it's 4th and 3, gotta have it. And then you're up. You don't even have time to think. So we try to create as much chaos as we can in practice, so when the games come, they are as calm as humanly possible. But, time will obviously tell, and it's our job as coaches to get him in the mental headspace to be able to go out there in the SEC and really even week 1 in Kroger Field against Youngstown State and go out there and execute at a high level.
Will, what is the hardest thing so far that you've learned adjusting from being offensive coordinator to now a head coach in the Southeastern Conference?
Yeah, Steve, I think it's just it's just the day-to-day operations of not only worrying about an offensive staff or offensive players or offensive recruiting. It's the entire program. It's your 105 players. It's your about 30 coaches. It's the strength and conditioning coaches, our nutrition staff, academics, and then you add in just the administrational piece and donors. And there's just so many things to do. There's just not enough time in the day to do everything. And then you have a wife and you have two little kids and you're trying to be a great husband and father. So there's just a lot of juggling that goes on. I think when you get in this role, you just try to pick out 3 to 4 things that you really want to achieve in the day and do your best to check those boxes. And you're not going to get everything done in one day, but to try to be as organized as you can, understand that you hired really smart, tough, dependable people to help you and to let those people go do their job. So I think everything is just new. I don't think it's necessarily like hard. We haven't played a game yet, so I'm really, I'm in honeymoon phase still. I mean, we're undefeated, so everything's good right now. Our guys are grinding and getting better. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot more tough days down the road. It's just when you have surrounded yourself with great people, like I mentioned, I think it makes things easier.
Yeah, I don't even know if you've slept since you took the job. One last thing for me. When you were growing up, like a diehard Kentucky fan, watching Kentucky play from those same seats every other week or so, did you ever imagine that one day you were going to take the field as the quarterback for Louisville and throw touchdown passes against Kentucky? What the hell, Will? When I was watching that game, I felt so proud of you and pissed off at the same time. And I was like, this sucks. I want to pull for Will, but he's beating my team right now. How cool was that to throw touchdown passes on the same field your dad scored a touchdown on? How cool was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was super surreal. Like I remember the first time we were playing actually at Cardinal Stadium, and that was like my first time going against Kentucky, and I was a true freshman walk-on, 8th string quarterback. So my impact on the game was basically zero besides cheering on the guys. It was different when I saw the blue run out of the tunnel. I'll never forget. I was just like, wow, this is like real. I'm actually like at Louisville. You go through at that time, like nobody really enrolled early. So I had about 2 minutes enrolled early. So I had about 2 minutes or 2 months of summer prep and then fall camp. And then that was when the first game was, UK U of L. So it was still fresh. And I remember that first Kentucky Louisville basketball game. I think Jody Meeks was playing for Kentucky. I think he had a bunch of points that year, but it was still different, but just like anything, guys, like once you get ingrained in a place and you develop the friendships and the camaraderie and the brotherhood of a team, you grow into that team. So I'm forever grateful for my time there. Obviously, without those experiences, I don't know that I would be here because I had great coaches that believed in me, that offered me a job to coach, and then you just find your way in this profession, and then you end up back at Kentucky. So everything happens for a reason, which is really cool. And again, to be here, to sit in this chair, to wear the blue and white again is really, really surreal to me. I was at my mom's actually this past weekend, and I mean, we had just like pictures kind of everywhere in our house, and she's got this big box, and it's just like stacks of pictures. I'm sure all of our parents have these still, and it's just I mean, it was like picture after picture after picture of me as a little kid in Kentucky gear, and about every picture. So it reminded me of again, how special this place is, how special it is to represent Big Blue Nation and in an unbelievable city of Lexington, and to do it at a place that I love and grew up loving. It's an awesome opportunity, and looking forward to getting on the field on Saturdays during the fall with the guys.
Yeah, shout out to Sissy Cakes. That was the Edgar Sosa shot, and just a quick little story, real quick, Will, and we'll get you out of here. But after that game, Edgar Sosa hits that shot. I'm at Freedom Hall watching it, and I run into a mutual friend of ours.
Didn't Jody make? Didn't he have a bunch of points that game?
Oh yeah, and Louisville was like a top 10 team, and this was a Billy Gillespie Kentucky team. So the fact Kentucky was in the game and tied it, and Edgar Sosa even had to hit that shot was kind of unbelievable in its own right. But I run into Adam O'Brien after the game, a friend of ours that we know, and I'm going to hey, that was a great basketball game. You got us this time. and he just flips me off. I mean, a good friend of mine just flips me off, but it's the day of the UK U of L game. That's what this rivalry can do to people, and maybe he's just also not that good of a friend, come to think of it, now that I'm saying it out loud. But get that Governor's Cup trophy back in Lexington, Will, please. That's all that we're asking.
Well, that's the goal, right? The goal is to win every single game, and obviously this rivalry is huge. And even just in the past few weeks, I think with the recruiting wars that are going on and just some of the banter online, it's all part of it. That's why sports are the greatest thing in the world, and without them, I think all of us would be lost. And so, we only got so much stuff to talk about with our family and friends. We got to have sports, and you got to be able to talk trash, and that's part of it. So I don't think anybody should shy away from it. I think the trash talking, will continue, and especially when you have two Trinity guys leading the respected programs of the state of Kentucky. So it's going to continue. It's only going to get even more competitive as we get closer to the season. But I know they got a bunch of games till the last game of the season, so do we, and so really just continuing to try to get better and find our groove as we enter our first spring scrimmage tomorrow morning, which is going to be exciting.
Great stuff. Producer Matt, he's a U of L fan. Did you have anything for Coach Stein?
I did. I had one question for you. Like TJ said, as the resident U of L fan here on Kentucky Roll Call who got to watch you play through your basically entire U of L career, is there a little bit a part of you that is almost excited for the next season getting to come back to Cardinal Stadium and play against the team that you got to play in college but on the other sideline? Or I guess you're coaching, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm excited about everything right now. Everything is something that I'm just looking forward to, and I'm not trying to be cliche and coach talk, because I know every coach says coach talk, but I cannot wait for September 5th. I can't wait. I really can't wait to see our guys out there in Kroger Field, in front of Big Blue Nation, and putting a product out there that everybody's proud of. And I really am just so focused right now on our process, and we're nowhere near where we need to be, but I do feel the growth from our guys from day one being on the job to now on April 3rd. So, that day will come, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff leading up to that week. But until then, just trying to continue to focus on what we got in front of us, which is we got a family barbecue tomorrow. All of our players' parents will be here and be able to connect with them and watch their sons go out there in Kroger Field tomorrow and get a good scrimmage in.
He is UK football head coach Will Stein. You have a beautiful family, Will.